Hi everybody, I'm Joey and welcome. I'm so glad you're here tonight with me or today or whenever you're watching. If you're watching live or whenever you come on, if you're watching replay, just say hi and let me know where you're from. And I would love to get a conversation going and see what everybody's doing today and what how your day is going. I have to get myself pulled up on my iPad, which I just did before we get started. Just a little bit of housekeeping here to get going before we start crafting together. But what I have for you today is a little out of the norm of what I've usually focused on. I have a card template for you that is, let me get my laptop going too. I've got my iPad going, but I have to see it. The only place I see your comments is on my laptop. So there we go. Got that going. I have been aware from some of my crafting friends that sometimes there is a slump to get started, and I have experienced that too. So I have a go-to layout for my card making that's perfect for beginners or experienced stampers or somewhere in between, that it's an easy way to figure out how to get started for your card. So I'm going to show that to you tonight and I hope it's helpful. So let's go ahead and get started stamping. Hi everybody. Hi Betty. Welcome from Ohio. Hi Jackie, Diane, Arlene. Good. Everybody's finding me. That's perfect. Okay, I'm going to turn you down here a second. And I have to do a little adjustment on my phone, which makes it makes me go upside down, but then you'll be right side up. So here we go. And it takes a minute for Facebook to get everything focused, and sometimes I have to move you around a little bit, but we'll hope that that's good. I'm going to use tonight a set from the annual catalog. This is our new annual catalog, and then we also have an event going on right now called Celebration, if you're not familiar with Stampin' Up. And Celebration is a time period where you can get a free gift from this catalog with every $50 order. And some things have, one thing has already sold out, and that is the pool party and soft sea foam cards and envelopes, but everything else is still available, at least as of today. So just giving you a heads up on that. And if you're watching just to get some information and you're not collecting products yet, that's perfectly fine, because I also am talking to you about if you need help to get started crafting, I have some ideas for you too. This is what I'm using out of the annual catalog. It's called Charming Sentiments, and it's a bunch of greetings. And then there are also dies that cut around these, and the dies are special in the way that they fit around really, really close to the words to die cut them. And we're not going to use this on our first card, but we are going to use it on our second card. But the idea of this stamp set was that instead of fussy cutting around your words, that you would die cut it. So I'm going to show you both ways to do that tonight, and I'm going to show you a quick and really easy way to get started, sometimes making a card when you're stuck. So that's the aim tonight. And as I'm getting started, I would love to know what are your pain points when you sit down to craft and you don't, or what are your solutions? What are your pain points and your solutions when you sit down to make something and you're just not getting started with it? That has happened to me, especially when there isn't a lot. If it's a new catalog and there isn't a lot on Pinterest, or if you Google the name of the stamp set. By the way, if you are brand new to stamping, or even if you're not, the way I sometimes look for an idea for a particular stamp set, what I'm going to show you tonight will work for any stamps, any stamp set, any stamps that you have. But what I wanted to say is, So if you don't know this, you can go to Pinterest, and if you do have a particular stamp set you're looking for, you can go to Pinterest and just type in Stampin' Up, comma, and the name of the stamp set that you're looking for. Hi Barb, hi Mary, Kathy, welcome Sue, everybody. Thanks for coming on. I'm so glad you're here. And that's how you can get started. But sometimes Pinterest can be overwhelming too. So when I first started stamping, I did not want to be cutting up a bunch of stuff. There were no such things as personal die cutting machines. I wanted to spend my time stamping, just putting my stamp in the ink and stamping. So I've come, and that was, gosh, I started stamping, I think now it's probably been as much as 20 years ago. I think I saw the other day, I was going through my old catalogs, and I think the oldest one I have was from 20 years ago. I'm just putting this, normally when I'm crafting, I just stamp on this grid paper, but I'm putting scrap grid paper down so that you don't have to look at a mess for both of the cards that we're going to make tonight. We're going to make two, and I'm going to use the same stamp set, but I've got some ideas for you. Okay, so this is just a piece of cardstock that is, what is it, 2.5 by 3.5, and I'm just inking up in, this is Orchid Oasis. It's one of our new in colors, but any color would work. We're using particular designer series paper that goes with this one. So I'm going to just stamp my image like this. Then I'm just cut a piece of So Saffron cardstock. If you're not a Stampin' Up person, it's just a light yellow cardstock. And I'm going to mount it on this little piece of So Saffron on my image. So I'm just going to use a little adhesive here. Hi Pam, welcome. Nice to see you too tonight. But anyway, getting back to, hi Kathy. Hi Cheryl. Yay, lots of people are jumping on time. So happy you're here. But I really would like you to type in the comments where you get stuck when you're trying to get started stamping. If you already are an experienced stamper, what do you get bogged down with when you're trying to be creative? And if you're watching and you've never stamped before, you're just looking at what the heck are these people doing and what is all this about? I'd like to know, if you haven't started paper crafting, what has kept you from starting? Okay, while you're doing that and typing in your comments, I'm going to show you a bundle that comes free in that celebration brochure that I was showing you. And it's the DSP. It's actually 12 by 12, but I just have it cut down so I can show the samples easier. But this is a stamp set. This is called Wonderful World. I know there's a glare on. That's from my lights. Sorry about that. And then it's bundled up with this paper. So you get 2 sheets of each of these. And as I said, they're 12 by 12. We're going to use one of these tonight. This is something that I fear might sell out soon because of the paper so pretty. I was just shocked that we already have something that is not available. We're only 2 weeks into celebration, so that's pretty early for something to sell out. So I'm going to take, okay, here's my hack. Here's my whole formula for you. Beginner, experience, anybody. You're going to take a strip of DSP. This one happens to be 2 by 5.5. And you're going to have something that's in the middle, like an image, your main thing, either a circle, a square. I cut rectangles. I just cut these with my paper trimmer. There's no die cutting on this whatsoever. So, and then a greeting. So there's three components to this foolproof way of designing your cards. Just a strip of DSP. You can also put it across your card. It doesn't have to be up and down. A strip of designer series paper. A coordinating ink pad, although that's not what I'm actually counting. Right now is my 3-step process. But a strip of designer series paper, or I'm using 2 strips here, but one just kind of complements the other. something in the middle, either a square, a circle, or a rectangle, or an oval, whatever you have. You obviously have to have a die cutting machine if you're using circles and ovals, but if you're using squares and rectangles, you don't need a die cutting machine. And if you're new to stamping, that's a pretty big investment to just start off with, although it's excellent. I've never had anybody buy a die cutting machine that said, gosh, I really don't use it. I wish I hadn't bought it. Nobody has ever said that to me ever in my whole time of stamping. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and just put our main thing in the middle. We've got our strips of paper down. We're doing our main thing in the middle. I'm going to pop them up with dimensionals. Hi, Tiffany. Oh, thank you. I hope you're feeling okay. We missed you last night. Tiffany's on my team, and she was going to come join us for our team meeting, and then she came down with COVID, which is no good. Kathy, you looked at other demos pages for inspiration or blogs. Yes. So if you have found a particular demonstrator who you like their style, and they have a blog, that is a good way to get ideas and inspiration. When new things are coming out, I find that more helpful when I'm looking for a specific thing, a specific stamp set or a set of dies or something. Sometimes, though, there's not much out there to look at when I'm looking, so I have to resort to what I'm showing you now. So then I'm going to take, well, let's actually finish our stamping here. I'm going to do the inside of my card. I have, let's go back to our flower, and let's do our flower on the inside too. Good, Tiffany, I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better. That's so good. I've had several friends that have had it. In fact, after our team meeting last month, one of the girls texted all of us the next day and said, I have been diagnosed today with COVID, and we had all been together that night, so I was a little anxious about that. But none of us got it from that night, so that was good. Okay, so there's our flower in the inside. It's always great to stamp your inside of your cards because that's always a nice touch for people. And I'm going to put thank you on the inside. So, and I'm going to use So Saffron ink so it kind of ties in with our yellow here. So, and then for the greeting, I'm going to, well, let's put this on the inside first. So we got that done. And then for the outside greeting, I'm going to go ahead and stamp our outside greeting. Sorry, I misplaced my stamp, so I was looking like, where the heck is the darn thing? So I'm going to get So Saffron ink back out, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp Beyond Grateful. I send a lot of thank you cards. Hi, Char. Barb, I use Pinterest a lot for inspiration. Type and stamp it up, and then the stamp set. Yes, I know, I do that too. I'm mainly tonight, which obviously is a great tool for all of us and great place to find inspiration. I'm mainly talking tonight when there isn't much inspiration out there or none for what you're looking for, because that often happens at the beginning of the catalog. It's sometimes hard to find. We've had 2 new catalogs. I'm going to fussy cut this greeting. We've had 2 new catalogs come out in just a few months' time. And there are a lot of new products and a lot of new stamp sets, so there is not a lot out there for a lot of the things that are in the catalogs right now. So that's my main mission tonight, is to give you an idea. And I'm just cutting around these letters, leaving a little bit of white space around them. Now, the joy of having a set of dies that goes with this stamp set is really, really helpful, because if you have a die cutting machine, you're probably, if you buy this stamp set, you'll buy the dies and you'll be set to go with the dies. But I'm making this stamp set as somebody might want to watch that's beginning, or I'm making this card as somebody that might be watching as a beginner and they're like, I don't have all that stuff, I can't afford to buy all that stuff, I'm not sure I want to buy all that stuff. So what can I do? Can I get started stamping without that big of an investment right off the bat? And you certainly can. All you need, honestly, for stamping is stamps, ink, and paper. That's really it. And if you're a beginner, we have kits that have everything in them. So that's our little greeting. Let's go ahead and pop that on with dimensionals too. Because, you know, there are lots of things you can purchase to get started, but sometimes it's better to just buy an all-inclusive kit that has all the stamps, the inks, all the card supplies are cut, any embellishment comes in. And our kits in our kit collection, they range anywhere from $12. You can get one for $12. Those aren't the ones that have ink and stamps in them, but they're a complete card kit. So if you like to just be crafty and you're thinking, well, I don't know if I want to actually stamp, those are great. I'll put a link in the comments to our kits page in case that's something you might want to be interested in. Or if you're on YouTube, I'll put a link in the description of the video. Trying to grab my piercing tool. Here it is. Couldn't find it. So we're going to put some gems on here. But then the kits that have, these are iridescent rhinestones. They're a fairly new embellishment. The kits that have stamps and ink in them are usually only anywhere from $19 to $21, so they're a really great value. And then put some gems on there, and there's our card. And we made that in probably, 10 minutes, maybe 15 maybe 15 because I'm blithering and blabbing, but you know, and that's a beautiful, sweet card. I mean, we've got our strip of paper, we've got our main focal point, and we have our greeting. So you could do this so many ways. But I'm going to set this aside, and then we're going to come back to it later. I'm going to show you, now if you have some stuff, or you're going to buy some more stuff, I'm going to show you a stepped-up version of that card. It's kind of the same idea, though. We've got pattern paper, same paper, and this one I die cut with the Scallop Contours large scallop edged one. And then we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead, we can put this part of our card together. So let's go ahead and do that much. I have to kind of think this through a second. So this goes like, I have to think through, how did I do this? I went like this. There we go. Okay, so that's what I want to do. So in this case, to make this exact card, is that what I want to do? Let me think. Too much blabbing. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to take on this side. So if you want to buy more things, you can get this paper and this stamp set with a $100 purchase, so for free. So if you bought the bundle for, I think it's $52 or $54 the bundle, then you bought the 3 ink pads to go with it, then you bought this goes like this. Yep, that goes like that. The 3 ink pads I'm using, or any 3 ink pads, a pack of white paper, and a pack of envelopes. That comes to just a little over $100 in the gems. So you could make a lot of these cards or something similar, which is that. Now this doesn't come with a bundle. That comes with a Scallop Contours set of dies. This does not look straight. There we go. I'm so busy because everything here looks straight. I'm like, this does not look straight on my card. So let's go ahead. I do love blue and yellow together too. By the way, I would love for you to invite you to share the video while you're watching. I really appreciate it. It helps me. It helps me, and it helps other people that might be interested in crafting find some ideas too. And we just never know who might be interested. I never was interested. I didn't think I was crafty. So if you're out there watching me thinking, well, I can never do that because I'm not crafty. I didn't think I was either. Honestly, I never did anything crafty till I was teaching. I'd been teaching for quite a while. I was in a high-stress job. I had 4 or 5 select choirs every semester, depending on what semester of the year it was. And I got invited to a stamp party. I still wasn't sold on it. My friend was, though, my close friend that had the party. So we bought a few stamp sets and some paper, and we were on our way, and then we both really got hooked, and we stamped once a week together for a long time. Anyway, I didn't think I was creative. That's the whole point of this, but you just don't know until you try it. So if you want some ideas of how to get started and you're just not sure, please message me because I'm happy to help you. Okay, we're going to color this. The other thing I wanted to show, I got a question about this card last night, is how do you get 2 colors on when it's just one stamp, and maybe you want the stems to be green and you want the flowers to be blue, which we're doing tonight. You can do it a couple of different ways. So you can, let's go ahead and try it the traditional way. So the traditional way is to take your Stampin' Write markers. These are water-based markers. They have a brush tip end and they have a fine tip, and you would just do this right on, you would marker right on your stamp. I'm not going to do this completely because this isn't the way that we're going to do our card tonight, but I wanted to show you. I got this question just last night at our team meeting. How do you get 2 colors on the same stamp, on one stamp? So, and I'm turning my brush tip to the side just like this because that's much gentler on the tip. You don't want that tip to get soft and smushy. So if you do it like this, and then the traditional way is, I'm not going to be too perfect about this, but you'll get the idea. So you just color your stamp, and then you're going to, we always say huff on it, that re-moistens the ink. So you're going to huff on this and then stamp. And that's the traditional way to do it, although I did it pretty fast, so it's a little bit sloppy. But I want to show you a way to get a different texture on your flower that I liked better than doing it like that. Because I tried it that way too, and I went, I'm going to try something else. I want that flower to be a little bit softer. So I'm going to clean this off, and then I'm going to start again. So I'm going to grab my blending brushes. These come in a set of 3, and going back to my Orchid Oasis ink pad, and I'm gonna just brush the ink right on the flower. I'm not even stamping it off on my paper. I'm just, now if you're a person who oh no, I'm gonna probably get some blue on my stems, then this might not be for you. You might want to use the Stampin' Write marker method. But I'm just going over the flowers basically, trying to make sure I've got everything on the flowers. Then I'm going to go to my green ink. So I'm going to grab my Pear Pizzazz ink and going to, sorry, I got distracted looking at the comments. Let's do tap, tap, tap with a sponge dauber. These come in a set of 5 or 6. They're not very expensive. And then I'm going to just ink the stems like this. And before I go back into my ink pad, I'm going to daub this off because I know that I do have some blue up towards that stem, and I just don't want to put the blue in my green. So you just have to be thinking about that a little bit. Same thing there, the top of my flower, although it's not really showing. And I did it this way because I could have used my marker on the stems, and I did actually try it that way. Because this is too tiny to get a brush in. Those stems are too tiny. So, but I didn't like the way the marker looked on it. It just was too, it was too different of a texture than the brush. So look how pretty that turned out. Isn't that pretty? I just thought, okay, this is so pretty. I think everybody will like this card. So, but I just wanted to again reiterate that the basic idea of this card is a strip of paper. Yes, it's wider than this one. A main image. Here we've got a rectangle. Here we've got a circle. Here we've got die cutting. Here we've got just straight cutting from our, oh, that's not the card we made. That was my sample, and then this one I cut the words out. But and then we're gonna put a greeting on this one too. But it just is a different. Thank you, Diane. I sure appreciate it for sharing. Thank you. So I experimented a little bit with how to get color on my stamp in a way that I really liked it, but I thought the softness of this background, I kind of wanted the image to be a little bit softer than it is with either just the stamp or the markers on the back of the stamp. So we've got this, and then for this one, I already die cut this. I did blue on this one, although when I look at my card, I think, I don't know, what do you think, yellow or blue? I can die cut a yellow one. While I'm putting the gems on, you let me know what you think. This is my original. This is my, what the heck? Here's the one we made together tonight. Gosh, I'm all confused. So, okay, this is the one we made tonight. This is the one we're also making tonight. But what do you think? Blue? Hi, Kathy. Thanks for sharing. Jackie, you like the tip of using a blending brush. Pam watches a lot of tutorials, but also gets so many ideas that they get jumbled up in her head, and then it takes her half a day to work it out. Yeah, I kind of try to stay away from spending blue. All right, let's go with blue. We've got a couple of blues, and I don't see anything else, so let's go with it. And I've already got it die cut, so let's just go with that. And then we'll put some blue ribbon on it, on the flower on this one. As I said, this is a pretty easy card, a very easy card for someone who's just started stamping. This one is not hard either, but you have to have more stuff to do it. And I left bows off of this one because bows are always kind of challenging for beginners. So, but we have the same idea. Strip of pattern paper, focal point in the middle that's larger than anything else, and then the greeting. Now sometimes you'll have a stamp that is large enough to actually be, it's a big greeting, so that's your big greeting. Then you could like punch a little flower on the side or add something to it, because I like 3 layers. 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layers. That's just me personally. I like the way it looks, and I think it's pleasing to the eye, so that's what I usually do. So we're gonna put more iridescent rhinestones here, and then we're going to, there's a large one, a medium, and then I've been putting some small ones right here for that. And then I am going to add a bow to this one, so let's go ahead and add the bow to this one. Now this card uses one of our new ink colors, and that's what I told you was called Orchid Oasis. So we also have a ribbon that matches our ink color. So all 5 of our ink colors have matching ribbon. So this is the Orchid Oasis ribbon. It's a little bit brighter and deeper than my ink on my card, because I kind of, with using the blending brushes, it's softer ink, but I actually like the brightness of the ribbon in contrast. Thank you, Mary, Arlene, thank you. You guys are so sweet. I was really excited to show you these cards. I love blue and yellow. Well, I don't know, this is kind of a purple. It's kind of periwinkle, and I think it's so summery and bright. and I really was happy too with it. And they're not hard, so anybody can make these. An experienced stamper can certainly make this one, but can also make this one if they've got the stuff. And a beginning stamper can make this one, or could also make this one, just knowing that there's more steps and you need more equipment to make it. But the concept of the template, the card layout, is exactly the same for both cards. It's just the same idea. The 1 strip of paper, the 2 something big in the middle, and the 3 a greeting. Now, your big in the middle could be your greeting, and then your smaller thing would be, your, maybe a flower or a leaf or something else that you kind of add to the top. So then we've got 1, 2, and 3. And with embellishments on them too. I've got the embellishments. Yeah, the blue is just gorgeous. Let's do the inside of our card. So before you go. And then I have some other cards to show you that I've made with the same idea. So let's go ahead and stamp our blue, beautiful blue. I think to match the inside, I will take the time. To match the outside, I will take the time. We're moving along pretty good tonight, so I haven't kept it up till midnight quite yet. I am going to go ahead and do our flowers the same way. Now with the blending brush, it doesn't deposit as much ink on your stamp as either the sponge, well, the sponge dauber probably adds more than a marker, but the marker adds the most, the sponge dauber adds the second most, and the blending brush is the third most as far as how much ink is going to be on your stamp. But remember, I decided ahead of time that I wanted this stamp to have a little bit softer. I wanted this image to be a little bit softer. I just thought it was really pretty with the paper. So that's what I did. I'm just going to grab my scrap paper again, so you don't have to look at a big mess after I'm done stamping this, because I'm going to go off the paper some on this. And I'm going to go down in this corner, just like we did on our first one. And there's that. And then let's go ahead and put our thank you greeting on the inside with this one. Kathy, this one I cut with the die. See, this one I cut with the scissors. Can you see? Sorry, the sun's shining in and I didn't put up my shade and I can't go get it because it's not on the window. But can you see how this one is cut out really closely to the word, trying to get it where you can see it. And then this one, I wasn't about to try to do that, but this one was with the die. This one was just with my scissors. Make sense? This one is with the die. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp our greeting on the inside here. Thank you. Any other questions about it? Thanks, Tiffany. I'm going to go ahead and do the thank you on the inside. We've got that. I don't know if I can get it out of the sun. I thought of it earlier today. We don't have shades on I'm downstairs in my craft room and we don't have shades on these windows yet. So I sometimes forget. This time I forgot to put, I have just a big piece of cardboard that I put in the window to just keep the sun out. Let me see if I can move around here a little bit and get out of the sun a little bit more. So sorry, this is going to go out of you're not going to be able to see some stuff as well for a moment till I get you out of the sun. Keep going. Get my stuff out of here. Keep going. There, I think that's a little bit better, maybe. I think you can see, hopefully you can see a little bit better. Okay, so there's the inside of that one, there's the outside of this one, and then, again, same basic idea for both cards, as I said. I am going to grab a couple of other cards. I've got several here. I had 3, and now I can only see 1. One was a Christmas card. Well, shoot, and I thought I piled it. Hang on, maybe it fell off. when I moved the computer. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I covered it up. So here is a card I made. Same thing. Okay, strip of paper. For this one, I wrapped ribbon around it. Big thing in the middle, greeting. Exactly the same. This is a card I made several months ago when this Ocean Suite set just came out, and again, there wasn't too much inspiration I could find ideas for. This one with the cup, this is one of my swap cards. Now this time I just went, well, the strip of paper is pretty much the same, and it's almost the exact same card idea, but I just turned it this way for my greeting to go on the top. But again, strip of paper, main image, the greeting went here, and this was a small greeting, so I wanted another little focal point, so I did. So you've got your same three things. You've got your strip of paper, your big image in the middle, and then either, your greeting could have been enough. I didn't really need that, but I added the lemon and the little tea bag and the greeting, but same concept. This is one I made the other day out of these. This is Celebration 2. This paper and these tree dies are Celebration. I almost made this one tonight too, but I didn't want to keep you too long because I know everybody's got stuff to do. We might make this one next week. I'm not sure, but I'll have something for you next week. But I just wanted to give you those ideas so you can see that if you get stuck and you just don't have ideas from either Pinterest or other demonstrators' blogs or even the catalog, which there's a wealth of information, but sometimes when you're trying to create your own design, you need to have a kind of a go-to template that is a fail-proof. So I hope this helps you. If you get stuck with something and you're not finding anything online that you like, or that you feel like you don't have all the stuff for, all of that stuff, this is just the easiest. So let me check your comments, just make sure I've covered everything. Thank you for the hearts, that's really sweet. So Pam, my niece had a friend that was a demonstrator that got you started 22 years ago, so you've been stamping a little bit longer than me, but not too much longer. Facebook got you started again. You're welcome. I'm glad that was helpful. And Jackie, thank you. I appreciate it. And Cheryl, I'm glad it was helpful. Margaret, oh good, Margaret. I know we were talking about this last night. So I also want to know, honestly, thanks Barb. I want to know what else I can help you with, because this came up at my team meeting, and sometimes I just don't think about things like that. Thanks for all the hearts, you guys. You're just the sweetest. So I would like to know, honestly, your pain points with crafting. Is it color combinations? Would you like to see more simple, easy templates for cards? I'm trying to get my stand to hold my phone up. What would be helpful? Tips to use your equipment, techniques with using your ink pads. I mean, anything that you would like to have some ideas for or help with. That's really what I'm here for. That is my whole point in sharing stamping, is to help you and help you enjoy the products you already have. Lead you towards products that I think might help you if you are wanting to invest a little bit more in your hobby, that kind of thing. Hey, Kathy. Okay, so sometimes simple is better. Yes, I know that. I do think simple is better too. All right, so I'm saying quick and simple stamping ideas. Oh, Jackie, that's perfect, because I actually had a whole class ready from the new catalog, the new annual catalog of Sweet and Simple. I was going to do a whole Facebook Live workshop, so I can still do it. I've got the cards. They're all in a little pack, and then I got sick, and then we traveled, then I got sick again. Then I was behind on everything, so I never got my workshop done, but that was my whole focus for those 4 cards, was Sweet and Simple. So if that's of interest, I would be happy to do that. I have seen a request for simple cards more than most of my friends will not spend an hour making a card. They want to, if they've got an hour, they want to have 4 or 5 cards done by the end of the hour, which means it needs to be simple. That's not everybody. Some people like to really, sit and create and take time with it and look at all their stuff and then pull something from here and something from there. And that's wonderful too. I have done both of those things. I have been in a hurry to get things done, and I have also had time sometimes to, not anymore, not for, since I've been being a demonstrator for business and for income, but I have definitely spent an hour or two on one card. It's not that hard to do when you really want to use all your stuff. Okay, my friends, thanks so much for joining me tonight, and I hope you will join me again next Wednesday night, and I will be back with some of those clean, simple, sweet card stamping ideas. How would that be? Let me know if there's anything else. You're welcome to text me, or a lot of you don't have my phone number, but you're always welcome to message me on Facebook. My personal profile is Joey Evans Hartman, but right here on my Create with Joey page, you can find a way to message me too there. And I forgot to add, if you're watching on YouTube, I will put this video on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks so much for watching. And if you enjoy the video, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I'm just getting started with YouTube, so I'm hoping to build followers. If you think I can help you, I would love to have you click the little follow button for me. All right, everybody, thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.